Oh, hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Timbo Took, and this is the joy of painting Middle-earth, a time when we come together to paint the most fantastic landscapes Middle-earth has to offer, and maybe we'll paint a scary one a time or two. That can be quite fun, you know. Now, I may not be the best painter in the Shire, but I do love it so, and I'd love for you to paint right along with me. So if you're ready, grab your paints and your brushes, and let's go on an adventure. All right, welcome. You can see we've got a dark canvas here tonight. That's right, this is a canvas. It was a white canvas and we painted it with that black acrylic gesso. I let that dry, that acrylic gesso, let that dry. And what I've done is I've put a glaze on top of that with some liquid clear and some phthalo blue, just right down on top of that. And hopefully that looks good for you. I don't think you can tell the blue is on there at all, so it'll look like magic when we get started. And oh, do we have an episode for you tonight. That's right. Oh, Barleyman Butterbur has been telling his story at the Prance and Pony. And he's been telling a story of the Second Age, and we've got just a little bit into it. And already, of course, like I said, he's not like Mr. Bilbo when Mr. Bilbo tells the story. He tells a historical record. This one, he kind of forgets things and makes things up, and he came up with a retirement plan for the elves. That was very interesting. But let's do a painting tonight of that big baddie, Sauron. We've just got two colors here. We've got titanium white, two piles in case I get one all dirty. And then I have my ivory black. That's right. And there is phthalo blue down there already. So let's get to this. Here we go. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed yet, if you're just finding me and you're new to the channel, we do these painting adventures every week. Well, hopefully every week. I know I've taken some time off and some of you are like, where are you, Timbo? But we're here and we're ready to go. So I'm just going to put some of this titanium white on this 2-inch brush right here. Just the same type of 2-inch brush that the Blue Wizard taught me how to paint with. Oh, you know the Blue Wizard. Bob Ross the Blue. He used to come to the Shire once a week when I was just a little hobbit. And he taught us all how to paint. So we're going to start. And this area, this is going to be clouds. He's standing like an open mouth of a fortress or something. I don't know. But you'll see how this magic works. I may have too much blue on here, but we'll wipe some of it off if it looks too bad. But that's not bad there. We're just bringing it this way. Just doing these crisscross strokes. This sky, it probably should be a little darker, but maybe we'll just say this is like a moonlit night. So I'm going to make this pile all dirty. I'm just going to come back in. Oh, that's getting the blue a little lighter there. We come back to it and we're just putting these colors in. I'm throwing paint all over. I'm getting more paint on me than on the canvas, I think. All right. Let's get to it. Now, I know some of you have watched this Rings of Power story that Barleyman Butterbur is telling, and you're like, hey, that's not right, that's not how things were. Well, that's just something. When somebody else is telling a story, they don't tell it the same way. But that does leave some surprises for us. Some of us familiar with those histories can still be surprised. And if you don't like it, you just don't have to go to the Prancing Pony and listen. But I like to listen to his stories and then talk with friends and see what they thought. And sometimes they say some funny things. Sometimes they say some good points. Sometimes I'm like, you're just being stuffy. That's right, your shirt's on a little too tight. But here we are. We enjoyed the story and we're just gonna paint from it. Because that's what I do. I like the pictures that it creates. I like that. I like talking to friends about it. Here we go. So we just create this. We're just bringing this down. This night sky, hazy sky. I don't know what it is. And let's put some more white in there. There we go. We don't really have to do singular clouds in here, but we do need to soften that out. Those marks. Now, let's just bring some of this white down here. Now, I didn't have as much blue. I put some of the ivory black down here. So this one... Oh, and sometimes you can see... Oh, I don't use real expensive canvases when I paint here. So there's a brace back there. Sometimes you can see it, but usually that disappears as we paint along. That's right. Maybe we'll say there's some fog going over this. This will be a floor area here. We're going to have, of course, Sauron standing there. And at first I thought he was staring out across the way. But then as I listened again and watched again, he seemed to be looking back inside the fortress. So you can paint him whichever way you want. It's your painting, you're creating the world now. And you know what happens when you create your own world. Oh, it's so much fun, and then everybody criticizes you. But don't let that bother you. Don't let that bother you. No, no. Just keep painting, that's what I say. Like I said, I'm not the best. You may know some of the best. You may have seen some of the best. Oh, I know I like the paintings of a gentleman named Ted Naismith. Oh, he paints all sorts of Middle-earth paintings. Yes, yes, his are amazing. Amazing. And then there's Alan Lee and John Howe. Oh, these artists, oh, they have inspired me for years. All I want to do is get better and better as I paint. And I don't hope to be as good as them one day, but I certainly do enjoy being inspired by them. And I hope you find others to be inspired by too. Just being creative, oh, that helps if you're thinking about work all the time and maybe you're in a job that's not so creative. Doing something like this will help. That's right. So we're going to soften this out. Let's go here and... Oh, I have a brush somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. There it is. This is a blender brush. It's usually a softer brush. Now, I think I've used this quite a bit and it's a little more stiff. But we'll see if we can soften this out. We'll see. These are just gentle circles. You're barely touching here. But this will take that sky. You use a brush like this and it takes out those strokes. You're just doing it softly. And you can see that sky and you start to whisper. You start to whisper to it and it softens up. There we go. Maybe this is a sky that's lit by a moon. Maybe it's not too dark of a sky yet. Oh, because we know that it is just waiting. Oh, Sauron is just waiting and waiting. Some people are worried about it. Some people who you thought, oh, they should be really worried about it. Oh, that guy, he's always worried about it. He's the one watching out for it. But now in Barleyman Butterbur's story, maybe he's not so worried about it. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see how it plays out. But that gives us this really nice sky. There we go. There we go. And you can see there's clouds in there. Now you can work on those clouds some more. You don't have to go as fast as old Timbo is. I'm just trying to do it. I'm just trying to show you what the possibilities are. And then you can take your time. When you take your time, you can come up with something really fantastic. But here we just have a limited time together. I know, I appreciate you spending your time with me. And you're very busy and you have lots of things to do. And it just... Oh, it makes me feel happy that you'd spend a little bit of your day with me. Even if you put it on double speed and you watch me and I speed through it and talk really fast. You can do that too. But this is just fun. We have fun together. All right. Let's clean off our brush. And how do we do that? Oh, we're using oil paints, and this is a wet on wet technique. So we have our paint thinner in a bucket here. That's right. We just take that brush, wash it in the bucket. And now, if I was outside, I'd just beat the Sauron out of the brush right on the easel. But I have a rubbish bin down here, so I'm just going to beat the Sauron out of the brush down in the rubbish bin. There we go. And we've vanquished that paint right out of that brush. And we'll just set that down off to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some mountains in the background. That's right, we have some mountains. So I've got this titanium white and blue that we've mixed together. Put that there. Let's come up. We're going to come up with a gray for these mountains. These first set of mountains we're going to do, they'll be a little farther away. That's right. We won't see them as well. Just mix that. There we go. We want that nice, just gray color. Not such a dark color. The closer mountains will be darker. There we go. That looks good. Just wipe off that palette knife and cut off a row of paint right there. Oh, we're going to come up right here. We're just going to, we'll come up there. Bring it down. And we're going to come back up this way. There we go. These mountains here. Just bring that. You can see we're picking up some paint on there. Let's just go back into that darker color. And we're going to take this right up this way. Come down here. And then this mountain. Oh, this is going to get lost in the fog back here. So we're just going to scrape this down. Scrape off the excess paint. That's what we're doing. We don't want so much paint left on here. We're going to scrape that down. There we go. But leave that edge. Leave that sharp edge. There we are. There we are. Now we're going to come. Oh, we've got this dry 1-inch brush. And I'm just going to come in to some of this titanium white again. We're just going to put this in as fog down here at the base. And then we'll mix that in. We'll mix that up. Mix that up. There we go. There we go. And now our colors are going to come together right here. Now they're going to come together. And what we can do is, let's knock some of that paint off this brush. We're picking up a lot of paint there. So there we go. Now we're just going to bring some of this down. Oh, that brush is a little wet yet. So we're just going to take a paper towel. Right there, that towel made of paper. We're just going to dry that brush off a little. There we go. There we go. And let's come in and let's make this a foggy mountain off in the background. There we are. Just mixing those colors together. There we go. Just pop that down. There we go. Just let that fog roll off over that way. And let's come back. Let's come back here. We're going to come to our ivory black, and now we're just going to come in. Now we have that blue on there, so that's going to mix in with this. Normally we don't go with just just straight ivory black on the canvas. We like to put a little bit of color in there, but we've already got some color down on there. So we'll just come in, and what we're going to do is this will be another mountain here. And you see that fog will separate these two mountains. It'll push that one further back into the distance. And you see there some of that color mixing right in with this one. There we go. This mountain comes up this way. And we'll just pull this down, down, down in Goblin Town. Oh, no, don't sing that. Don't sing Goblin Town, Timbo. Okay, I will. Down, down, down in Goblin Town. Oh, that should be the last time, but it probably won't be. Probably won't be. Oh, if you weren't twitching enough already. Some of you are like, oh, come on, Timbo, stop. That's okay. That's okay. Let's just bring a little more color into here. Just pull it down right into this canvas. And you see that way, that separation between those mountains there. Let's give this a little more rocky crag right there. There we are. And you just pull that in. Some of you, if you're like my daughter, and my son, you can't stand listening to that sound scrape across the canvas like that. Oh, it does something to their ears, I don't know. It doesn't bother me much, but oh, for them it does, I guess. And I'm going to go back to that 1 inch. I got some color on there still. Just knock that off, and let's come here. Just put some white in that we can mix up to make some misty fog here. And there we go. This just comes right across, down that way, right up there. There you go. And just like that, we have a couple mountains over there. Now let's come back to this. And we are going to, let's put in some of these stair steps. Let's put this right across this way. This is that platform, that fortress. We'll just bring that right over there. Right over that way. There we go. Same with this. We'll just bring this color down. Just pull it right into your canvas here. Maybe I'll hobbit speed some of this so you don't have to see me doing this tedious part. I'll just speed right through it. There we go. So we're making these stair steps here. Now, maybe we'll come, let's just kind of lighten some of this up. We don't want it to be just all dark, so we're just going to come right in here. We're just going to lighten some of this up. This will be, orcs and servants of Sauron all on the sides here. That's right. They'll be all down this way. So what we're doing is we're just going back into some of this dark. We're just grabbing some of that. And we're just doing this quick. If you want to take your time and put more details into this, that's fine, that's fine. We're just putting some... There's just some... These are creatures and orcs and things. Oh, let's knock some of the color off this brush. Now we're going to do a bit of a haze. Coming up to our titanium white again. We'll just tap this in. This will give a little bit of a haze here. And this is where, oh, this is where that dastardly, oh, that dastardly Sauron will be standing. There we go. There. Right there. Now. Oh, we've got a little bit of color on our blender brush. Let's take some of that out. And blend some of this together. There we go. Now we're on to that Sauron. Oh, I don't even like to say his name. People used to not say his name, but oh, he's been vanquished. In this day and age, he's been vanquished. So we're going to say he's got this great helm on. We're just using this palette knife, just making the lines there. And hopefully this turns out. You know, Timbo, I'm better at doing mountains and things. Not always these people or buildings or other things. But we'll just bring this down this way. Put some more spikies on his head. He has to let everybody know he's not to be messed with. Look at all these horns on my head. Don't mess with me. That's what that says. That's what that says. And you can always tell when something's difficult for me. I don't talk as much. I have to think about talking while I paint. If I'm just painting mountains and clouds, oh, the words just, you're probably like, oh, Timbo, shut your trap and paint. But, oh, it is a little easier when I'm doing things like that than things like this. Oh, and this great suit of armor he would wear. Very intimidating. Or so I've been told. There we are. Now let's bring some shoulders out on him. Bring some shoulders. Come this way. And some spiky points on those shoulders. That's right. That's right. He's got these shoulder pads on. As if he's some sort of sports coat from the 80s. Oh, I like your sleeves. They're real big. As one might say. As one might say. Just bring that down. Put a spiky thing there. There we go. Oh, this evildoer. Now, I don't know. What way do you think he's facing? Do you think he's looking at all these ugly mugs, or is he looking out that way towards the beautiful landscape that he wants to ruin? And of course, he's got a flowy cloak. And you can put the paint on here as thick as you want or as thin as you want. However you want to do those details. Now, maybe he's holding a big staff here. We'll just bring this arm down. Now, you can do this with brushes if you want. I'm just using this palette knife. Not the easiest thing to do these little details with, but like I said, we're just going through this pretty quick. When you do yours, you can do it however you want. You can take your time. You can let this dry and then go back in and put more and more details in. That's how we do it. That's right. Now, let's come here. Taking the long point, and I'm going to turn this up this way. And there we go. A little more paint on there. This long staff of his. Maybe it's a spear. I don't know. You fight with it. There we are. Oh, what an intimidating fellow. What an intimidating fellow. Put some more here. And we'll just come down here. This cloak will flow down these steps. Oh, I'm probably in your way there. There we go. Now let's kind of fix this. We don't want that too hazy around him all the way. There we go. Just putting these steps back in. These are just little details to kind of fix it up. There we are. Maybe we make some light reflecting on those stairs. So let's just come up here. We don't want it too bright. We don't want that too bright. There we go. Just bring that in there. Now we're just going to go on the top portion of the step, just to give it some separation there from everything else. There we are. Come back for some more. Let's just come this way. Oh, as long as it stays on there. Come to this side. The more paint you have on, the harder it is to stick. There we go. There we go. Bring this one down. And maybe this one is a platform so we see more of it. That's where he's standing. There we go. And bring, step all the way across. Maybe another right here. Now the light's probably coming in like this, so let's put a bit of a shadow there. Oh, I'm just going to take this little brush here. That was a little crunchy. Didn't clean it well enough last time, maybe. All right, and let's just put in this shadow. He's just blocking out the light there. There we go. Comes down like that. All right. Now we can put some fellers all around these edges. So just going to come to some of this black, grayish. And we'll just put some guys here. We'll just make some of their heads like this. Maybe they're all hunched over. These orcs. There we go. That looks pretty good. I didn't expect it to come out that well, but okay. Okay, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Oh, we'll do another one here. This big old head. That's a good thing about orcs. Some of them have skinny heads, big heads, all different kinds of heads. 2 heads, maybe. Oh, I think that's trolls, but... There we are. The point is, though, you don't have to be very exact when you're doing these fellers. You just say, okay. Might say, oh, that one looks like a dog. That's a warg, it is. So you can fill this in with as many of these guys as you want. Come over here. Just do the shape of a head and some shoulders. They're all going to be standing in front of each other. And then you can come and you can put some highlights on them. And that's how you separate them. You just highlight some. Don't kill all that mist in between. That'll give you some separation there. And maybe come up with a lighter color. Maybe the light just catches one of their helms here. Maybe a shoulder or two. You see how that works? So you can just go through and you can add them in and in and in and in and in. There we are. And you're just filling in these details with your imagination. You're not doing any real portraits here, but you just want the edges of them where the light hits, just to highlight some of that. Yeah, that's his arm coming down, his shoulder. There we go, you see? And that just gives details to those guys. Maybe we'll put a highlight or two here on Sauron. Now, if this paint, once it dries, and this paint may take a week or so to dry enough, you can come in with some white and put down some some streaks of light coming through. Yes, you can do that. So we'll just put a little highlight or two here on Sauron. Just those tips. It wouldn't make sense to have light on his back if you're saying the light's hitting from up there. There we go. Maybe on the tip of this. Probably gonna mess this up. Oh, I don't think we messed it up, but we made it look like maybe there's a serpent wrapped around that thing. Oh, that's fun. Oh, we just made a little serpent thing wrapped around it. There we go. There we are. Now I tell you what, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fill in a bunch of these works, and I'll fill that in. I won't have you watch me do this all tedious and all that, and we'll come back and finish this up together. All right, so we just took a few minutes and we filled in that galley. That's right. Now we'll put maybe there's some spears and things sticking up here. They got to have their weapons. Put those in. All right, put one right there. He's got one. There we go. Just have these just popping up throughout. There you go. Let's give this guy one right there. One right there. It's a longer one. There we go. Just have some of those. Where you see some of this space there, you can just put one of those weapons right in there. There we go. There we go. So you see, maybe do a couple more down here. there we are. There's that baddie Sauron with his army of orcs, maybe army of men in there mixed, intermingled. I don't know. If I was a man, even if I was fighting for the bad side, I wouldn't want to stand next to an orc in battle, that's for sure. He might look at me as a snack. Oh, maybe a bigger snack these days than I'd like to be, but he'd still think of me as a snack. So there we have it from our tale from old Barleyman Butterbur telling about the Rings of Power, and we have this story, this scene that plays out. So I look forward to painting more and more with you. I hope you continue to join me. I appreciate you being here. And remember, if you'd like some of these prints that old Timbo Took does, you can find them at timbotook.com. We'll be back again with more paintings. So thank you for joining me. Goodbye and God bless.